Shri Krishna, embracing text 17 and text 18 of chapter 12, birth of Emperor Pariksit of first canto, creation of Srimad Bhagavatam, text 17. Tas man namna Vishnurat iti loke bhavishyati na sandeho mahabhagavato mahan. For this reason, this child will be well known in the world as one who is protected by the personality of Godhead. O most fortunate one, there is no doubt that this child will become a first-class devotee and will be qualified with all good qualities. The Lord gives protection to all living beings because He is their supreme leader. The Vedic hymns confirm that the Lord is the supreme person amongst all personalities. The difference between the two living beings is that the personality of Godhead provides for all other living beings, and by knowing Him, one can achieve eternal peace. Katha Upanishad. Such protection is given by His different potencies to different grades of living beings. But as far as His unalloyed devotees are concerned, He gives the protection personally. Therefore, Maharaj Pariksit is protected from the very beginning of his appearance in the womb of his mother. And because he is especially given protection by the Lord, the indication must be concluded that the child would be a first great devotee of the Lord with all good qualities. There are three grades of devotees, namely the Mahabhagavata, Madhyam Adhikari and the Kanishta Adhikari. Those who go to the temples of the Lord and offer worshipful respect to the deity without sufficient knowledge in the theological science and therefore without any respect for the devotees of the Lord are called materialistic devotees or Kanishta Adhikari, the third grade devotees. Secondly, the devotees who have developed a mentality of genuine service to the Lord and one who thus makes friendships only with similar devotees, show favor to the neophytes and avoid the theists are called the second grade devotees. But those who see everything in the Lord or everything of the Lord and also see in everything an eternal relation of the Lord so that there is nothing within their purview of sight except the Lord are called the Mahabhagavatas or the first great devotees of the Lord. Such first great devotees of the Lord are perfect in all respects. A devotee who may be in any of these categories is automatically qualified by all good qualities and thus a Mahabhagavata devotee like Maharaj Pariksit is certainly perfect in all respects. And because Maharaj Pariksit took his birth in the family of Maharaj Yudhishthir, he is addressed herein as the Mahabhagavata or the greatest of the fortunates. The family in which a Mahabhagavata takes his birth is fortunate because due to the birth of a first great devotee, the members of the family, past, present and future up to 100 generations become liberated by the grace of the Lord out of respect for his beloved devotee. Therefore, the highest benefit is done to one's family simply by becoming an unalloyed devotee of the Lord. Text 18. Shri Rajo Vacha Apyesha Vanshayan Rajarshin Punya Shlokan Mahatmanoha Anuvartita Svidya Shasa Sadhu Vaden Sattamaha. The good king Yudhishthir inquired, O great souls, will he become as saintly a king, as pious in his very name, and as famous and glorified in his achievements as others who appeared in this great royal family? The forefathers of King Yudhishthir were all great saintly kings, pious and glorified by their great achievements. They were all saints on the royal throne, and therefore all the members of the state were happy, pious, well-behaved, prosperous, and spiritually enlightened. Under strict guidance of the great souls and spiritual injunctions, such great saintly kings were trained up, and as a result, the kingdom was full of saintly persons and was full of happy land of spiritual life. Maharaj Yudhishthir was himself a replica of his ancestors, and he desired that the next king after him become exactly like his great forefathers. He was happy to learn from the learned Brahmanas that by astrological calculations the child would be born a first great devotee of the Lord, and more confidentially he wanted to know whether the child was going to follow in the footsteps of his great forefathers. That is the way of the monarchical state. The reigning king should be a pious, chivalrous devotee of the Lord and fear personified for the upstarts. he must also leave an heir apparent equally qualified to rule over the innocent citizens. In the modern setup of the democratic states, the people themselves are fallen to the qualities of the Shudras or less, and the government is run by the representative who is ignorant of the scriptural mode of administrative education. Thus, the whole atmosphere is surcharged with Shudra qualities manifested by lust and avarice. Such administrators quarrel every day among themselves. The cabinet of ministers changes often due to party and group selfishness. Everyone wants to exploit the state resources till he dies. No one wants to retire from political life unless forced to do so. How can such low-grade men do good to the people? The result is corruption, intrigue, and hypocrisy. They should learn from the Srimad Bhagavatam how ideal the administrators must be before they can be given charge of different posts. Hare Krishna.